Hey, how's it going? Thanks for clicking on this video and watching this video. My name is Michael Zappia. I have no idea what that thing is rolling around behind me. But anyway, just want to say hello to you. I want to just take a quick minute to make a proper introduction to a very good friend of mine who I met a few years ago by the name of Cheryl Clack. Cheryl is a functional medicine guru. She's been studying this. She had some challenges herself with her health years ago. She's got a pretty amazing story that I'm just really starting to learn as her friend after all these years. I didn't know what she went through, but a lot of us go through a lot of things physically. A lot of us go through a lot of things when it comes to our health, our wellness, our fitness, our overall nutrition, you name it. And I just went through one myself. Show you something kind of gruesome here. That's right. And I do this for the effect. Open heart surgery, 48 years old, October 14th, 2022. I'm here in my backyard here in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and I literally dropped to the floor right in there. And quite frankly, I had dropped to the floor about a half dozen times before I finally took myself into the hospital and said, hey, something's not right. And they're like, yeah, something's not right. You're having a heart attack, Mr. Zappia. Anyway, I just want to make a quick introduction. I'm very concerned about my overall health and wellness. I'm always concerned about giving back and learning what I need to learn, applying myself, and then putting that information back out there to other people. There's a lot of controversy out there in the world when it comes to almost everything and anything, and I'm probably not the first to share that with you. You can't go anywhere without somebody having a controversy about a topic. Here is one when it comes to your nutrition. Here's one that I'm passionate about. I want to get my nutrition dialed in. Do you? Do you feel like you might be eating some things, consuming some things that are not really edifying your body and helping you stay healthy? Do you feel like there's a chance that some of the things you eat on a regular basis are maybe hurting you or making you sick? I did for years, and I knew it was, and that's why I'm on this pursuit to change my path of better nutrition information and a better overall nutrition plan when it comes to what I put in my mouth here. This conversation is about seed oils, and you're about to learn from a very amazing woman who is going to teach you very simply and easily about the danger of these things called seed oils. I'm not the expert here. I'm simply the middleman here. I want to put you in front of an expert who I believe might help you and help me live a little bit longer and live a little bit healthier. Enjoy the conversation, and I hope you love it. Cheryl, I go to cardio rehab every single week. It's Monday, Wednesday, Friday is my schedule. I'm there at 8:30 in the morning. I get on a treadmill, I get on a rowing machine, or I get on the assault bike, and I do about 40 to 45 minutes, sometimes 50 minutes of cardiovascular, 120 beats per minute. And at the end of every session at the Christus St. Vincent Hospital here in Santa Fe, New Mexico, at the beginning of every week, they give us one pamphlet. They call it a pamphlet or a flyer. And what they want to do is they want to educate their patients who are recovering from, completely, I had my whole chest cut in half, open heart surgery. A lot of the guys in there, believe it or not, they're in their late 60s and 70s. I'm only 48. So I'm in there looking around like, oh my God, I'm the youngest guy in here. Some of these guys didn't even have what I had. Some of them just had a couple of stints and they're kicking butts. But anyways, they passed this sheet out, and this one I happen to be showing you right now is a good one. This one just talks about what is coronary artery disease, what are the signs, how do you prevent it, how do you treat it, and this one's good. But there was one that they passed out about 2-3 weeks ago, and I was physically upset when I read it. So I finished my workout. They go, oh, Michael, did you get the sheet? And just so you know, I love the people over at the hospital. They're great. Guy named Bill and the women that work there, they're really sweet, they're really nice, and they really care about their patients. The problem is I don't think they know what they need to know to really be educating their patients past jumping on a treadmill and monitoring a heart wave. For instance, they passed out one of these that had to do with what you should be eating. And even way before my heart attack and conversations with you and some other people and some authors, I've been learning what you should and shouldn't eat. On the sheet, it said that we should be eating seed oils, like the healthy oils like safflower oil and sunflower oil, and canola oil was on this list. And I had to rub my eyes like, are you kidding me? They might as well put Crisco in this list of things that they want us to eat. And I said to Bill, and I was kind of nasty, and I go, Bill, what is this? And he goes, what do you mean? I started to explain to him, I'm like, these oils shouldn't be on this sheet. I shouldn't be eating these. And he said to me, "Oh, who'd you hear that from?" And I said, "Well, I'm a reader, a voracious reader, and I'm a learner, and I've got a lot of friends that are in functional medicine, and the seed oils are the worst oils for you." Anyway, him and I got into a little spat. It ended quickly because I realized, what am I going to try and convince this guy who went to medical school for when he believes everything I don't believe to be true? But anyways, what is your take and your expertise and your knowledge on whether or not seed oils are good for us and good for our heart?
Okay. Gosh, that's a loaded question.
Uh-huh.
You can tell by my response.
Mhm.
I'm every day shocked by the things that patients are given in the ER, in the heart cath lab. Seed oils just don't. Okay. They were not made for human consumption. They're a byproduct. They are made for industrial use. The process alone makes them dangerous. Adding those oils to heat changes the structure of it. And if anybody's ever bought a bottle of corn oil or vegetable oil so they can make a box mix cake or brownie mix, you can buy that oil and sit it in a dark closet or pantry. And within 3 months, when you take the lid off of it, it will stink because it's gone rancid. Now, that's at room temperature over a little bit of time, but you're putting it in a body that, depending on who the person's body is, somewhere over between 92, 98, some people even more. I mean, I have an ex-husband who was missing 3 limbs. His normal body temperature was literally about 100.5. So you don't even have to be running a fever. He just didn't have enough skin to give off heat, even though all the organs are still doing all the same work. So seed oils, just say no. And the reason that they're putting out those educational flyers is because that's how they were educated. And when you understand that what the doctors are sharing with their clients, depending on what level they are before they become patients, they can't teach what they don't know. And for all the years a doctor spends in school, half of them don't receive any training in nutrition more than maybe an hour. The same is also true for being taught to read a epidemiological study. They don't know how to do basic risk benefit analysis. So if they're not being taught about it, how can they share that information? The doctors that are in practice, and there's a reason behind that, is most of your major medical schools are funded by pharmaceutical industry. No shocker there. Most doctors are working so many hours trying to meet their quotas that they don't have time to stay up to date on the latest research studies, especially meta studies, which is, analyzing decades, if not a century now, of modern medicine and looking at trajectories of things. And I always ask people when we talk about, this is what my doctor said, I ask them one question: how old will you be in 17 to 25 years? And after a little finger counting, a little mental math, people come up with a number and they go, "Why do you ask me that?" I said, because that's about how many years, that's how old you will be when what's known today in the functional medicine realm, proven by studies, peer reviewed, even published by the CDC and the FDA and top journals before some politicization of those editorial boards. That's how long it takes that information to get into clinical practice where you can benefit from it. I don't have time to wait for that. And I certainly don't have time, nor do I have any grand illusions that I can change public policy. But if doctors are still not being trained in nutrition science, and even after the Human Genome Project was finished, if they're still not being trained in the effects of diet and lifestyle on genetic expression, how do we expect them to educate their patients? How can we expect them to teach people what they need to do for themselves that only they can do, because the doctor isn't sitting with you at home making you go to bed, eat your vegetables, drink your water, take your walk, lift a few heavy things, push a few heavy things. They're not doing that with you. So if they're not doing it because they don't know to teach it to you, then it's up to us. So when it comes to seed oils, just say no. And the simplest way to do that is don't eat anything out of a bag, a bottle, a box, or a bar. You don't even have to know about all the seed oils. Stick to organic coconut oil. And yes, it's a saturated fat, but it's not a hard fat in your body. Olive oil. It has so many polyphenolic and wonderful flavor because of those polyphenols. Those are cofactors your body needs for processing vitamins and minerals in your body and turning them into usable energy and whatever your body needs, hormones especially. So you've got coconut oil, olive oil. I use MCT oil. It's a concentrated form. Not everybody can use it, especially those who already have liver issues, who have gallbladder issues, or no gallbladder. No MCT oil without knowing what you're doing and the right way. The only seed oil I would ever recommend is flaxseed oil because it has the perfect balance of omega-3s and 6s, but it also has other benefits that you don't get in those other oils. So, and it's cold processed, cold expressed. So it's not being exposed to heat. Heat and oil, not good. That's another conversation. You can make a note. We can answer that question. What oils do I use for cooking and how much oil do I need? And for those of us who are on the healthy fat campaign, because they're essential fatty acids, which means your body can't make them on their own. If you want to protect your brain and you want to protect your heart and you want to protect your skin and everything else, its ability to function, I mean, you got to learn to maybe even do a shot of olive oil every day if you haven't eaten it on your foods. So that's all I have to say about seed oils.
Gotcha. Very good. Yeah, I was going to ask you all those follow-up questions, but we'll make that for another video and another time. Good stuff. So stay away from processed foods is what you're saying, because seed oils are packed in processed foods. I can't pick up a snack bar, even if it says grain-free and it's got all the buzzwords, no gluten. You see all the buzzwords in marketing today, and you grab the box thinking, "Oh, this must be good for me." And then you flip the box around and you'll notice that there's sesame oil and safflower oil and canola oil and maltodextrin and all these different kinds of sugars. And I'm just like pulling my hair out now for the first time in my life, because I'm realizing, hey, this could be the reason why I almost dropped dead of a heart attack at the age of 48, and I don't want to do it again.
Think about it this way. Forget about the front of the box or the bottle or the bag or the bar. It's the small print that matters, like in any contract. And you are literally giving informed consent and entering into contractual agreement to assume full responsibility and liability for what those ingredients that you do not know what they are and what they're going to do to your body. So let's finish up this conversation next time.
You got it.
Take those notes, ask those questions, and we'll talk soon.
Sounds good.
Great. Thanks, Mike.